Today's video, it's not your job to save her. A lot of guys, they have this thing where they suddenly decide, oh, I can save this girl. I can help this girl. Maybe then, I'll finally have that person that, just, loves and appreciates me. And even if you have the ability, you really shouldn't. And guess what? Most of you don't have the ability. I thought I did, and I found out I was wrong. Worst decision I made in my early 30s. So, describe what wound up happening was I mean this girl wound up we were seeing each other. We weren't together, but well, we were like rabbits. I was gonna get my own place. She was gonna come along. She wasn't on the lease. I did know better then. And what wound up happening was, as time went by, she became a little bit more toxic. And this showcased itself in a myriad of different ways. Like, she would gaslight me. It's like, hey, can my friend come over? You mean your friend that I don't like? You mean your friend that likes to mouth off in your presence, but only in your presence? And the moment I stand up to tell them to knock it off, they get a little bit, twitchy. No, you're insecure. We've all heard that. We've all had that happen. I still thought I could save her. I still thought I could change her mind because, I got to meet her parents. I got to meet her family. And the amount of red flags here, there's more red flags than a communist parade. I should have, cut it off, but, I was so sure of myself that I could, change her around. What wound up happening was she got pregnant. We had this little drama fit where she pissed off some people at the bar, and that led to me sitting up at the top of my stairway, looking out the window with a shotgun because they were coming around. And I thought that they were going to, vandalize my vehicle, among other things. I mean, that turned her on because, I'm just, got the shotgun, just like, okay, do something. They drove by and acted like they were going to come out, but, just me walking out there like with a shotgun in hand like I'm the freaking Terminator, like 2.5 foot tall Terminator. Yeah, they drove off real quick. And so, after that, what ends up happening is like now she realized she burned a bunch more bridges, and well, it was just me and her. She wasn't trying to gaslight me. It's like, oh, you're insecure for not letting my friend that doesn't like you hang out at your place. No, 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 no. That's just nah. I mean, I thought I could change her, but no. Turns out afterwards she was pregnant. Was it mine? I'd like to think it was, but I'm still not sure. It could just be me processing the trauma in a certain way. So let's continue on. She was pregnant. I was happy because I'm like, yay, we got a family. You now have reason to stop all this drinking and smoking weed all the damn time. You now have reason to, in so many words, unfuck your life. Guess what didn't happen? She still came home smelling like weed and alcohol. Claimed she was just around it, but didn't do it. I don't believe her. And had a miscarriage. Just me there on the stoop of my apartment, just, sobbing into my arms by like face and knee sort of thing, just, painful. Got into an argument. Asked her to stay with her family for a few days. We got into an argument about that. Because I wanted to be left alone. Because she was going to start crap. Mm-mm. She, of course, kept continuing on, just making things worse. I just wanted to be left alone. I mean, it's a traumatic thing when you lose a child. We wound up getting into a fight, completely breaking up, because, we did eventually wind up dating. And then when we got back together, because I'm an idiot and, I wanted to give her the benefit of the doubt, guess what happens again? Gets pregnant. Says she's gonna stop the drinking and smoking. Guess who doesn't stop the drinking and smoking? In my opinion. She was still smelling like weed and alcohol. Well, that baby wound up being gone too. All the gaslighting, all the threats. I remember her distinctly saying that if I didn't do what she told me, she was gonna break up with me. Hey, and she was gonna go after me for child support. And this was something stupid, like, you gotta move in with my family. It's like, why don't you get a job? Why don't you do something like that? No. No, she wouldn't do any of that. She had a job, she kept it for a month, but for just deciding she's not going to show up ever again. Oh, kind of like the last girlfriend I had. Yep, not my problem anymore. But I wound up. The thing is I never really trusted a lot of what she said. I always thought she was lying to me. But if I didn't have proof, I mean, I'm not going to accuse anyone of it. Because of how she was and how psychotic she could be, like she tossed a chair at me, like a computer chair, like this Timu ass looking chair I got right here. It wasn't quite that bad, but I mean, it was still pretty bad, like, not so great chair. She tossed one of those, like, my apartment, you had to go up a set of stairs to get to. She tossed that chair at me as I was going down to go to work because she didn't want to go to work. She didn't want me to go to work. She wanted me to stay there and snuggle her until it was time to go to the bar, and I didn't want to do that because somebody had to pay the fucking bills. Like, she was just a childish, non-adult individual. I tried to explain a bunch of things to her, but she never wanted to listen. She just wanted to have fun and party. At the same time, she'd be like, you should go work over here. They pay more money. But guess what? At the same time, I'm not going to be home at all. You complain about me not being there. And guess what? These other jobs, they have a lot less tolerance for, showing up on time. Or at all. Unless it's union. But after the second time, I remember what happened. First time, I did the whole face in my arms on the stoop, crying a little bit, like sobbing. I mean, it was early on, like we didn't get a gender or anything like that. Second time, the first time I thought that she deleted our child, but I couldn't prove it. Second time, even though I still have no proof, I am thoroughly convinced she did. She told everyone that I had no emotional response, that I just didn't care. You have any idea how much that shit hurt me? Because I'd still smell the alcohol on her and the weed. Like, she killed weed for me forever. Like, I didn't mind smoking up every now and then, but her, she just absolutely killed it for me. And so, with that, I remember, like, I was in bed. She left. She came back. Told me that she went and had the baby bag surgically removed because, like, the whole thing there was that there was no heartbeat. So she basically got an abortion after it was already dead in her. I rolled over because I knew that she was never going to change. At least not for me. I wasn't going to tolerate that anymore. We split. I couldn't deal with her anymore. She wound up with another guy who always constantly smells like weed, and apparently they're living in her parents' old house. But to be fair to her, I can't prove any of the things that I think. But to be, completely brutally honest, I think that no matter what she says, if I was to ask her about it, I can't trust anything she says. Because if I was to ask her if she did it, if she said, yeah, I murdered her child, if she said that, she could honestly be saying it just to spite me. If she said no, there's also the fact that I'm just not going to believe her. So, you see where I'm at with this. It's painful. And I'm never going to get over it. Ever. I wound up going to therapy because of this. And my thoughts on therapists, I have a lot of negative opinions on therapists. But the first two I talked to, they were just completely full of shit. They half-ass listened. They wanted to sell me on a political agenda. I'm not even going to go into that. The last one actually got recommended to me in a men's channel. Legion of Men. You know, Bo Renfick? It was in his Discord server. Guy did everything by referrals. Like, I'm not going to say the guy's name because he's currently in a lot of trouble with certain people. The board or whatever that runs therapy, whatever shit. Yeah. But it's $500 a month. Within 4 months, I was actually actively working on my problems. And this actually led to me improving myself quite a bit. But it's not your job to save her. Stand in your square. If they try to move you off your block, off your square, they can get lost. The thing about women is that they're 50% of the population. If someone's going to cause you problems, if they're not a compliment to your life, get rid of them. And the thing that bothered me the most with this is that how can somebody do that to them? To their own blood. It's not your job to fix her. You might wind up like I did. Or you might just, waste a lot of your time. It's a story where you should pay attention because these things happen. You are going to get screwed over at some point. As a man, you are made to suffer. You were born to suffer. And suffer you shall. That's going to freaking happen. And you can't stop it. So you got to take that pain and make it useful lest you be destroyed. That's me paraphrasing Ajax there. And it's painful to talk about. But, I mentioned in my last video that happened, so I figured I'd talk about it, a bit more in detail. I can't prove that she did this, but I truly believe that she did. Just based on her personality and the things that I'd see. Like there's literally a day where I was with her family, and her two sisters were sitting there mouthing off about their husbands, and she started going in on me, and I'm just like, no, that's not happening. And my response was to just like, okay, you can stop that right now. That is not okay. And she's just like, what? Well, what? We're just playing. And my response was to leave, and she called me back like 4 hours later crying. It took you 4 hours to realize I was gone. The worst part about that is that after the breakup, I was still having sex with her. Because I'm retarded. And she wound up claiming to be pregnant a third time. And when I told her that I was going to have a DNA test whenever this baby was born, she wound up getting incredibly angry. And then 3 days later told me it was a miscarriage. So either A, she was lying, or B, she aborted that one too. I can't trust her. If I was to ask her if she did this, if she straight up deleted our child, I could see her honestly saying she did just to spite us, even if that wasn't the case. If I was just completely wrong about this because of my trauma on this particular topic. Or B, she'd be like, no, I didn't. I love those babies. I loved our babies, blah, blah, blah. I could see her lying either way, with no matter what the answer is. When she's out of my life, and Apparently, she's having a decent life with the guy she's with now. Decent. Regardless of which, if my last ex, if you're watching this, no, don't worry, you're not the most toxic ex I ever had by a long shot. But there's a reason why whenever you started doing things that triggered me, that showed a bunch of red flags, my response was, no, that is not okay. It's because I've seen the worst that women can do. And for any woman who's watching this, thinking I'm only just, sitting there saying evil women do things, yeah, I've seen evil men too. For any woman who's watching this, guess what? These guys, these toxic men that may beat you and lie to you and will emotionally manipulate you, it's not your job to save them either. Oh, but, he's had such a hard life. No, it's not your job. Us, by trying to save these people, we are doing a disservice to them. Because they need to work on their problems. I am working on all my problems. My everything situation, I'm doing what I can to improve them. And that is what I am honestly trying my best to do right now. To improve my life. To do what I absolutely can to make my life better. And you know what? I can see plenty of places where I need to work on myself. But I don't worry about women anywhere near as much, even though I believe I understand them a hell of a lot better now than I did before. I'm not one of these toxic, all women are hypergamous bullcrap motherfuckers. I believe women, like, the vast majority of the experiences I've had with women, unless I worked with them for some strange reason, because for some reason, if I worked with a woman, it's that the relationship's not that great. If most of the experiences I have had with women are absolutely amazing. Most of the women that I've had in my life are wonderful. I'm not going to let a few bad apples ruin me. But it's not my job to save any of them. 50% of the population. They are just as replaceable as us men. A lot of guys like to complain and say that we're replaceable. Yeah, well, guess what? So are they. So you don't have to worry about that. You don't have to sit there and think, oh my God, I need to latch on to this. It's the same as an investment. If the investment isn't going good, cut your losses. If she's not a compliment to your life, she can get going. And ladies, the same thing to you. If you believe that this guy is no longer a good thing for your life, get rid of him. And keeping these kind of people that you need to save in your life, it makes the entire quality of your life just absolutely poopy. So don't. This is my personal experience. This is me taking the time and, doing all that trauma, that self-work and, trying to process everything properly without, having prejudice involved. That's me genuinely looking it over and, trying to come to the root of what's going on here. And there's a lot more that I can sit here and talk about this, but it's not your job to save anyone. It's not. I've suffered. I've done my 10,000 hours. I know what I'm willing to tolerate, and I'm not willing to tolerate this sort of behavior from anyone at all. And so, there's my advice for everyone. If a woman's being horrible to you, get rid of her. Ladies, if a man's being horrible to you, get rid of him. That's all for today. Like, share, subscribe. If you want to donate, there's the donate box down below. I still have 6 positions open for coaching. We are doing dating, fitness, and confidence. You guys have a good one. Bye-bye. Oh, and we are now able to message on the Instagram. Did I take the time to set it up? Well, I have now. Have a good one, guys. Learn from my mistakes. Don't repeat mine. Eyes on her like she's the main event. Her reputation is something she's meant. She's made for the streets. She's the talk of the town.
She lives for the night where the lights go down. All judgment here, disguise for her fears. She's made for the streets, legs up high. They whisper her name like some urban myth. She's got no shame, she's got no guilt. She lurks the night, the carousel she rides. In this concrete jungle, she's been hurt. She's made for the streets, she's the talk of the town. She lives for the night where the lights go down. All judgment here, disguise for her fears. She's made for the streets, legs up high. Let them talk, let them stare, she doesn't care. She's beyond compare, she's not for taming, she's not for keeping. She's a force of nature, she's validation seeking. Her story's not yours to write or to judge. She's more than a whisper, more than a nudge. She's the heartbeat of the city, a wild free soul. She's made for the streets and she'll never be whole. She's made for the streets, she's the talk of the town. She lives for the night where the lights go down. All judgment here, disguise for her fears. She's made for the streets, legs up high. In the end it's her choice, her life to lead. No apology, no need for creed. She's made for the streets, she's living her dream. This city's her playground, or so it seems.